Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, and it's time for career mode. It's round 9 of Assen for the Dutch GP. So in pole position is Johan Zarco with Quartararo and Bagnaia in the front row, Miller, Oliveira and Morbidelli on the second, Rins, Espargaro, Mir, Martin, Binder, Marquez, Espargaro, Vinales, Grant, Petrucci, Savadori, Nakagami, Rossi, Bastianini, Leccarona and Marini at the back of the grid. But upon that note, we are looking to the red lights now, waiting for them to disappear, and away we go. So bringing on the power setting 3, it's an average start, but we'll try and go around the outside of a couple of riders here and brake very firmly going into turn 1. So around the outside of Jorge Martin, touching the rear of Franco Morbidelli. It seems to be pretty good so far. Oh, practically sideways, they're getting shut wide there as Aleix Espargaro gets the worst end of that one. I think he might have even gone down there. I was going to just briefly mention how everyone got through there cleanly, but unfortunately carnage has come already in the early stages of this Grand Prix as Grant got shoved wide and then into Aleix Espargaro. But look at that move going into Strubben, by the way, one of my favourite overtaking parts of this entire game. I love Strubben very, very much so. I'm going to be using a lot of power setting 3 in this one as we get super close to the end of Brad Binder there, just touching his rear Michelin tyre, but we're still in the battle here of trying to gain more positions. I'm trying to gain the positions early rather than letting him get away and losing this sort of bunched up atmosphere. So Alex Marquez just ahead of us and Marquez behind, so a Spanish sandwich right now for the Grant is he's in the middle of both the brothers, Alex and Marquez. So onto the right hand side for Mandevin for turn 10. We may have a chance on the right hand side here, just have to be very gentle with the right trigger. The R2 button on the DualShock 4 that I'm using, and bring on the acceleration nice and calmly. But now going into turn 12, we do have a lot of speed here on board the Aprilia RSGP, but going into the left-hander now, right on the trails of Alex Marquez. He goes a bit too tight to the apex there. We might have him going into the Great Timber Chicane, and we certainly do. Look at that for a manoeuvre. Best manoeuvre you could possibly did see as Grant fires up on the inside of Alex Marquez, a world champion to another former world champion from Moto 2. So braking very firm now going into turn 1. Nice and relaxed and controlled there on board this Aprilia. It's pretty good to see. Of course, we struggled in the qualifying session. If you didn't join me 4 hours ago for the qualifying, then you probably didn't miss much, to be honest with you, because we didn't do very well since we started in 16th place, of course. But now going into Strubben for the left-hander, you better believe a lunge is coming up on the inside of Brad Binder. As beautifully done as that. And now onto the trails of Frankie Morbidelli. So power setting 3 enabled. Do we take the slipstream, or we'll go for the left-hand side to hopefully chuck it up on the inside going into the Veenslang? I'm not quite close enough. Could I certainly thought about it, guys. I certainly thought about it, but a lunge up in that corner is very difficult to make, and I lacked a bit of confidence going into it, if I'm truly honest with you. So bringing it into power setting 2 now. We don't really need power setting 3 when we're this close to them, as we then try and outbrake Frankie going into turn 9 for De Bolt. So Franco Morbidelli has been pushed back, and Grant is now into 9th place. So now into Mandevin for turn 10. You can gain a lot of time on the AI here. Just keep it nice and tight to the apex for both apexes, actually, for turn 10 and turn 11 respectively, and then the same for turn 12. Bringing on the acceleration, still in power setting 2, may I add, and we're still holding on to the back of the Suzukis and the Ducati of Jorge Martin. So onto the left-hand side for the Ramshock. We may have a chance of taking not 1, but 2 riders going into the Great Timber Chicane. Can we make it stick? We certainly can. Beautifully done there for Grant. The world champion is now up into 7th place. So across the line we will go. The fastest man on track right now, where the 130's contact is made there with Alex Rins, pushing the Spaniard wide. We've cut the corner ever so slightly, and a bit more contact for Alex Rins. Have a bit of that, my friend. I actually do really like Alex Rins, so my apologies on that one, mate. But I tell you what, a brilliant start. We were in battle there. We did a lot of battle with a lot of riders, and we still managed to move ourselves up into 6th place and take the fastest lap of the Grand Prix within power setting 2. Not too bad, if I do say so myself. Excuse the pun with too many 2s there. But now onto the right hand side we'll go for the Veenslang. Super tight to the apex there. Be very careful not to run it over the rumble strip, and we lost a little bit of time and a little bit of ground there to Miguel Oliveira and the riders ahead. So Oliveira's looking pretty poised for a podium. Don't forget, he started in qualifying 1 just the same as we did, but he moved up into the promised land by taking the top spot of Q1. So into De Bolt for turn 9. Now into the right hand side for turn 10 for Mandevin. Nice and tight to the apex once more. Do like to keep that same consistent pace going into the right-handers for turn 10 and 11. And of course position yourself up ready for the apex of the 12th corner here in Assen. I can't tell you how imperative it is that you get it right going into that 12th corner. If you've got to keep it nice and tight to the apex, got to keep it nice and close. If you go a little bit too wide, you might go on the rumble strip, and then you might even touch the green and get yourself a metaphorical slap on the wrists, and you don't want that, not here in Assen. So 18th corner has been completed, lap 4 is now beginning, and we are 1.3 seconds behind Miguel Oliveira, and if I'm truly honest with you, I don't mind taking 6th place. It's not a bad result for us right now. I will continue to push forward, you know me, you know DrAce, I do my best at every single time to try and pursue the riders ahead of us. The chasing is by far my favourite part about MotoGP 21. But now into the left side we go for Strubben. You better believe I'm still going to push to the end. And my apologies if you find any artifacts or any sort of weird colour grading on the video. I just upgraded to Windows 11 and this video was recorded when I was playing on Windows 10. And there seems to be a few minor issues with a few things. Like Vegas Pro, unfortunately, has been giving me an absolute nightmare since I upgraded to Windows 11 after frequently restart my PC for it to work. And it's just not been ideal, but this is kind of off subject, so I do apologise if commentary has taken a turn for the worse right now. But we are in the middle of this sort of battle between 5th and 7th place, so we're not really doing anything right now. So I guess I'm just going to vent for a few moments, and I really hope there isn't any grading or artifacting on the screen. Basically what I mean by that is maybe one part goes blurry and one bit sort of changed colour. Let me know in the comment section down below if you see that, because it's imperative that I get that fixed immediately, because I cannot stand that having that on the videos. It ruins your experience and it certainly ruins mine as well, so make sure if you do see anything you let me know, because it's really important to me. So, but with on that note, let's keep on moving, let's keep on pushing towards the end of this one, because of course we have 1.5 seconds to Miguel Oliveira, and I've got to be honest with you, I did expect him to make a lunge up on the inside, at least one of the Ducatis by now. It looks like Bagnaia has faded ever so slowly behind Fabio Quartararo, so it looks to be the two Frenchmen just leading at the front, just doing what they do best. And there is Alex Rins at the bottom of your picture. He wants to say, you know what that move you did earlier? It was a bit aggressive, so I'm about to fire it back up on the inside of you as well, my friend. And I've got to be honest with you, something I'm going to let you into a little secret. I have been considering a Suzuki move for possibly next season or the season beyond, so stay tuned for a possible update on where I'm going to land myself next season. Now, I am leaning towards staying with Aprilia for a 3rd season. The goal is to win at least 2 championships with Aprilia. If we win the season this year with Aprilia, I may do another and see if we can take the triple with Aprilia. I really want to see if we can win the team championships and the constructors, but I very much doubt it when teammates Aleix Espargaro and Lorenzo Savadori are just not having an easy time with it compared to ourselves. But focusing on the action ahead of us, that gap from Bagnaia to Zarco and Quartararo has opened up massively. Miguel Oliveira is now into 3rd position, and the Ducatis appear to be struggling. Excuse my voice crack there, but the Ducatis appear to be struggling. So we might have a chance of getting into the... I don't know if the podium's available. Miguel Oliveira is there, but Oliveira looks like he has a bit of pace. So let's see what's going to happen. 1.5 seconds is the gap to Jack Miller in 4th place right now, and Bagnaia is just a little bit further ahead of him on track. Power setting 2 is still being applied. I want to keep it that way until probably towards the end of the race. I don't want to be wasting power setting 3 willy-nilly. I always like to keep it in reserve just in case. You never know. Maybe Jorge Martin or Joan Mir suddenly decides to get a speed boost or throw a blue shell and see what happens after that. But never mind, it's not Mario Kart. Bring on the acceleration. There has been a crash further behind. I'm not entirely sure who that is, but looking at the graphic, it sort of tells me that that's in Strubben. So something has happened further behind us. Oh, there is Joan Mir actually. There is that speed boost I mentioned. He must have hit the red mushroom or something, because he's right on my tail now. Referencing Mario Kart once again here in Assen. But never mind about that, because the gap to Jack Miller and Bagnaia is still 1.2 seconds, 1.3 seconds. It's kind of oscillating around that gap for the time being, as Joan Mir goes super tight towards my rear tyre there again. I think he's desperate to get on through now, to break on through to the other side. Shout out to the doors there. But now onto the right hand side for turn 12, nice and tight to the apex. Bring on the acceleration. I might consider a power setting 3 jump in a minute, just to try and get ahead of Jack Miller and his teammate Pecco Bagnaia. But I tell you what, Oliveira is on a charge. He might even chase down Quartararo and Zarco at this rate. But we are right on the cusp now. We're getting past Bagnaia and Jack Miller. This is going to be beautiful. A 4th place finish is possibly on the cards for us here today. The world champion will definitely take that. 1 position away from the podium after starting 16th place. You can't do much better than that though, can you? Not here in Assen as well. That is brilliant. 0.4 of a second is the gap to Bagnaia. Pecco is really struggling. Pecco is really on his last legs now. Look at him just sliding. Oh, super close to the rear of Pecco. My apologies. I did just touch his Michelin tyre there and just push him a little bit wide, but it looks like he was out of shape anyway. So Pecco Bagnaia struggling with the hard front and the soft rear. That soft rear is obviously the wrong decision here in Assen. And I'll tell you what, Jack Miller is very impressive right now because he's actually got a soft front and a soft rear. And he's actually ahead of his teammate Bagnaia. Bagnaia might not even find himself in the top 10 in a moment. Mir was very close behind me, and so was Jorge Martin and Alex Rins. Bagnaia is in for a tough one here, which is great for us. One of the championship contenders is struggling here today, and Joan Mir is behind us. The only threat we have to really worry about is that man at the top of your picture right now. Johan Zarco does it again, but tell you what, Jack Miller is a sitting duck. He lost so much time coming out to turn 11 there, and now we're powering it through up into turn 12 and into 13 for Hoghide. Power setting 2 is all that was needed, but Jack Miller fights back tremendously well, but it's a lost cause, Jack. Just give it up. It's not going to happen. He holds it into the gear timber chicane and we'll flick it to the left-hand side, bring on the acceleration, a short shift up to 3rd gear, and across the line we will go up into 4th position. Is Jack Miller going to be strong enough on the brakes? Oh, a little bit out of shape for Grant. That is a certain amount of temerity to brake like that. That is confidence and style for the world champion as we do get ahead of Jack Miller. And I tell you what, I think that's it. That's the best we can do in this Grand Prix. As long as we stay on board the motorcycle, I'll go to bed tonight as a happy man. I can't be mad at this. 16th place to 4th, pretty good. And considering we had a interesting start, we didn't have a bad start, but we didn't have a great start either. Getting shoved into teammate Aleix Espargaro, which ended this Grand Prix very prematurely. Not sure where Lorenzo Savadori is in the sense of team points for the championship, not entirely sure. And of course, if you are enjoying the video so far, why not hit that like button and also consider subscribing as well. We're on the charge for 2,500 subscribers, and quite frankly, could do with your assistance in getting there just before New Year's Eve. So thank you if you have already, and if you haven't, why not join the Aces and join us for a lot more content just like this one here today. Now, I will mention in a very future MotoGP 21 career mode video, I have probably got one of the greatest videos I've ever done coming up very, very shortly. So I implore you to subscribe and just keep an eye out for not the next round of MotoGP 21, but the round after is going to be absolutely wild. Let me tell you, I tried to record these as much as I can in advance, and that one has been recorded, and then let me tell you, you're going to love it. So definitely stay tuned for that one. It's going to be in the Red Bull Ring of Austria. I will say no more. Definitely keep an eye out for that one. I can assure you it is going to be amazing. But on to the final lap now. 5 seconds trail behind Johan Zarco and Fabio Quartararo. Zarco looks to have it in the bag. You can see him coming out of Strubben already with a bit of a gap ahead of Quartararo. And of course Oliveira 2.5 seconds clear from us. It seems to be a pretty much done deal for the podium. Sad to say we're not going to make it to the podium, but honestly, as mentioned earlier, I'm more than happy with the 4th place finish. I think we've done a tremendous job here today, and I'm really happy with the performance. I was very miffed, I won't lie to you. I was very disappointed in the qualifying session. I ended the video a little bit down and disappointed in my performance because I really wanted to end my practice and qualifying struggling woes. It just doesn't seem to go away in MotoGP 21. I never seem to qualify well, but this time we're doing alright. We started 16th, we're going to finish 4th. You can't do better than that. But I'll tell you what, a quick mention to the factory Ducatis who gambled on the soft tyres. Where are they? They didn't even stay within the top 10. Joan Mir, Jorge Martin, Morbidelli and Alex Rins are your top 8. And of course the top 4 as mentioned earlier, but never mind about that. Johan Zarco will cross the line, victorious here in Assen. Quartararo finished in 2nd place. Oliveira takes the 3rd place, and Grant with a tremendous 4th place after starting 16th on the grid. So that's that then. Zarco wins with Quartararo and Oliveira 2nd and 3rd. Grant, Mir, Martin, Morbidelli, Rins, Marquez, and it was actually Aleix Espargaro who finished 10th place, picking up a few extra points for the team championship. But before we discuss the team championship, let's have a look at the Riders' Championship. Grant still leads the way, but just 26 points clear from Joan Mir, 36 clear from Zarco, and 39 clear from Pecco Bagnaia. A look at the team championship now, and as you can see, Ducati Lenovo team leading the way, but just by 2 tiny amount of points and 5 clear ahead of Aprilia Racing Team Grassini. But upon that note, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. Consider liking the video and subscribing as well. I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.